char siu, dim sum, 河粉. This is often what springs to mind when you mention Chinese cuisine to a Brit. It was only after I studied in Beijing that I learned about the 8 major cuisines of China. So why is it that Cantonese food has become the global representative of Chinese cuisine? I found the answer here in Jiangmen, Kaiping, about 150 kilometers southwest of Guangzhou in Guangdong province. Previously, my only impression of Jiangmen was that it was the hometown of many of my ex-colleagues when I worked in Guangzhou, and that it was a popular setting for TV and film shooting. But now, I'm lucky enough to have the opportunity to spend some time here and really get to know the local history. And I'm not exaggerating when I say I've never seen anything like this in China. And it's no surprise that this area has been designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So, what stories are waiting to be told in Kaiping? In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Chinese workers from many regions relocated around the world looking for better opportunities, and Guangdong province was a major emigration hub due to its proximity to international ports and business opportunities. Therefore, workers from Kaiping emigrated to countries such as Canada and the United States, where many of them played crucial roles in the construction of these countries' infrastructure. These workers suffered from systematic prejudice whilst abroad, often working longer hours for less pay than their local counterparts. Yet despite this racism, their courage and determination to provide a better life for their families shone through, and they left behind them a legacy that remains visible today. Diaolo. Diaolo are a kind of fortified watchtower that can serve as living quarters, but were primarily used as a means of security and protection. They were paid for using funds sent back to China from Chinese overseas workers, and were mainly constructed by their families in the 1920s and 30s. What fascinates me the most about these diaolo is their architecture and the story that it tells. Their eclectic mix of Western and Chinese trends results in architectural features I've never really seen before. I believe this fusion is also a representation of the workers at the time, influenced by Western culture and trends, and yet rooted in China, never forgetting their ancestral homes. Fast forward nearly 100 years, and there are around 1,800 diaolos scattered in villages nearby Kaiping, mostly standing empty, with their owners now settled in all corners of the world. Yet the story doesn't end here. In recent years, the Kaiping local government has worked hard to find and contact these overseas owners, and together they've formed a partnership. The owners have temporarily leased their property ownership over to the government, and in return, the government has worked to maintain and refurbish these historic buildings so that their story can continue to be told to tourists worldwide, ensuring that the contributions of overseas Chinese are never forgotten. Today, the revitalization of these diaolo has benefited entire communities, with multiple cafes and boutique hotels opening in the surrounding areas to serve the tourist boom brought by their project. As well as being somewhere where tourists can relax and unwind in this picturesque countryside, this area is full of historic stories just waiting to be discovered by those willing to find them. One such story revolves around the diaolo owned by the Fang family in Sili village. The owners of this tower are the descendants of an overseas Chinese worker who opened a cafe in Canada in the 1930s. The cafe operated for multiple generations before it finally closed its doors in the 1990s. Now, thanks to this project, a new cafe paying homage to this story has opened within sight of the Fang family's diaolo, and after more than 30 years, there is once again a Fang cafe serving customers. Jiangmen is an area that has been shaped as much by those who left it as by those who remained. And the legacy that both these groups of people have left behind is quite incredible. Workers from Jiangmen unwittingly became global ambassadors, spreading their love of Cantonese cuisine to the rest of the world, whilst those that remained constructed diaolos that now serve as living storytellers, sharing the unique history of this region with future generations. So, the next time you're looking to visit somewhere that's both relaxing and full of unique architecture, don't forget about Kaiping.